Hi everyone, I'm Madeline from the Neo Cyber Institute. Welcome back to the channel. This video will focus on an important part of computer maintenance, which is patching. Now I'll first start with information that's helpful to everyone, but check out the timestamps in the description below since I will talk about what to do on Macs and Windows devices separately. So, what are patches? Patches can be thought of as pieces of software issued by companies that are meant to address any security vulnerabilities in a program or product of theirs. They are essentially small updates that prevent hackers from exploiting any existing vulnerabilities in the system. The first step in securing your computer is to go through all of your applications. This means you want to go through and specifically look for applications or even browser extensions that you no longer use. And by deleting such programs on your computer, you no longer have to worry about checking those for updates or whether or not security flaws in those programs will allow a hacker to gain access to your computer. And if you're just looking to improve your security a little and you don't want too much of a hassle, I would say to just do this manually, looking through your applications, that is. However, for a more in-depth look at your computer, try programs like Spiceworks or Asset Panda, which will thoroughly inspect your computer and everything running on it to check for issues or vulnerabilities. I would say, though, that these are definitely not necessary for everyone. Now, before I get into device-specific recommendations, here are some general best practices. So I will be talking both about manual and automated methods that you can use, and then you can decide which you prefer, and I'll go into the specifics on both in a little bit. So first, you want to download updates and patches directly from the vendor site itself, the vendor being whoever the company that created the software is. This would be considered a manual method and would require you to periodically check the website for updates. Don't worry though if this sounds like a hassle because I will provide alternatives in a minute. And while I don't necessarily recommend this, you could only check for updates for some of your most important pieces of software that you use. This is better than nothing. Next, you really want to avoid updating your software through links found in ads or emails, as they aren't guaranteed to be reliable. And going along with the previous note, try and install updates when you're connected to a trusted private network and not a public one. This just decreases the possibility of a hacker being able to interfere with your downloads. Lastly, if an application has the option to automatically update, take advantage of that. This is going to save you time and keep you secure without having to worry about forgetting to check for updates. And to get more information about whether this is available for you, you have to visit the vendor's website. Now on to some Windows-specific device. So first, Microsoft has what is called Patch Tuesday, which is one Tuesday each month, the second I believe, that Microsoft releases patches for their software. Microsoft also releases non-security updates and firmware updates on other Tuesdays in the month. So especially around these times is when you want to be on the lookout for any notifications about available updates. If for some reason you aren't hearing anything from Microsoft, definitely check out Microsoft's website to see if you can download updates directly from the site. Next, what we have is the Windows Update, which is a built-in part of the Windows settings. However, if for some reason you have issues with it or you just don't like using it, try either Update Fighter, Windows Updates Downloader, or Auto Patcher. But in terms of Windows updates, if you have Windows 10, you can access it from the Start menu, as you can see here on the left. And if you don't have Windows 10, you have to look in the control panel, as seen in the image on the right. And besides that, all you have to do is choose the updates that you want to install, and then the rest of the work is done for you. Then expect that your computer is going to be required to be restarted because that's what's necessary in order for all the changes to be in full effect. Now on to Macs. For software that you downloaded, you're going to have to check the App Store for updates. This is actually quite similar to Windows, but just with their version of the App Store. And for the main software on your Mac, see System Preferences, which can be found by simply searching System Preferences on your Mac. Usually this can be done in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Also, going to System Preferences, then App Store will bring you to where you can select the automatic update option, which will save you a lot of time. You will also likely want automated management software like Patch Manager just to keep track of all the available patches. This is if you feel you need this in addition to the automatic update option that already comes with a Mac. And so Patch Manager can actually also be used on Windows devices. And here are just some final thoughts. So first, there are so many benefits to patching your devices. This is especially important now during COVID-19. You want to make sure that your devices are as secure as possible. And it really doesn't take much time, especially if you choose automated options. Something that you might find helpful is to download antivirus software. This way, no matter what happens, if a hacker manages to get some sort of program onto your device, you have some defense and some detection software that'll help you stop the problem quickly. And finally, this is pretty simple, it might seem like common knowledge, but don't ignore the notifications regarding updates. I know I am sometimes guilty of it, everyone is probably guilty of this sometimes, but again, it's really important, especially right now, to protect yourself, and all you have to do is usually click install. It'll take a few minutes, and that's all you have to do to be a little bit more secure. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned how you can be a little bit more secure. Be sure to check out the description box down below because I've linked helpful articles that show you in detail how to make the changes I've talked about. I'm Madeline from the Neo Cyber Institute. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.